welcome to Nexonia training. Today we're going to be going over the expenses management program Nexonia. Shortly after training, you will receive an email from Nexonia to reset your password. You'll see the email in your inbox and you can just click on the link that says change my password. Then you can create a password. It has to have 9 characters, an uppercase letter, a digit, and a special character. Once you've entered your password, then you can click on Reset. It'll confirm that your password has been reset, and you can then go back to the sign-in page by clicking on the link. Notice that your username is your email address, the email address ending in lactanet.ca. Then enter the password you've just created. And you can sign in. You can opt for the computer to save your password if you would like. Once logged in, you will be directed to your Nexonia dashboard. At the top of the dashboard, you will see a blue bar with Home, Expenses, Approvals, and Reporting. Note that approvals and reporting are for managers only. You can also access these links through the icons in the middle of the screen. Over at the side of the dashboard, you will see links to live training, where you can sign up for live webinars hosted by Nexonia, and individual job aids can be found under the Need Help link. Finally, any issues with logging into the system or with expense submissions should be sent to the person listed in this area of the dashboard. To submit expenses, you will navigate to the expense dashboard by clicking either the link in the blue bar or the icon in the center of the screen. Once you are within the expenses screen, you will be able to see any expense reports that you have created and submitted. We'll briefly discuss some of the things you will see on this screen and what they represent. First, you will see an action column, and if you click on the drop-down menu, it will display various options, including ways to upload pictures and receipts, but we'll go into more depth on that later. Next, you'll see a column with a policy blocker, a circle with a line through it. If you have a claim with this icon displayed in red, it means the report cannot be submitted. Next, you'll see a column with the attachments. If you have a paperclip displayed in green, it means you have linked a receipt to that claim. If the paperclip is displayed in red, that means you're missing a receipt and you cannot submit that claim. Under the column Approval Status, marked by a check mark, if you see a red arrow facing left, it means that claim has been rejected for some reason. And we can look at those details a bit later. If it's displayed with 3 yellow dots beside it, that means this is a draft and it's been created, but the expense claim has not yet been submitted. If you have submitted an expense, but it has not been looked at by your manager yet, it will display as a blue arrow facing to the right, and it will say submitted. Once it displays a green check mark, that means you've successfully created, submitted, and your expense has been approved by your manager. Note that if you're using the app on your phone, you can still see all of your expenses, and the same symbols are used. Now we will be going over how to create an expense report. Each bi-weekly pay period, you will submit one expense report which contains all of your expenses for those weeks. To begin a new expense report, click on the Add Report button. Then you need to title the report. It should be titled with your district and/or province as well as the pay period ending date. For example, if Daisy Milks-a-Lot tests in District 1, she should name her report as follows. May 19th being the pay period end date. Then click on Save to save your report. From here we can add individual expense items. Do this by clicking on Add Expense Item. It will then open a new window where you can enter information about the expense item. First off, you will have to enter category. This is where you will select the expense category of the item. Now we should note that for element card expenses, this is for staff that have been provided an element card for the company vehicles, and you will have to enter all receipts for this card against this category. Next, you need to select the date. This should be the date that's displayed on the receipt. You can do this by either typing it into the box or using the calendar to select the date. For the total, you enter the total amount on the receipt. It should be in Canadian currency, and for the tax profile, select the province in which you are located. You can then add a memo stating something about the receipt. In order to include photos or receipts to your expense items, you'll need to upload them from either webcam, digital camera, or another photo-taking device and put them on your computer. Make note of the location where you have saved them. Then click on the Add Receipts button in blue. Click Upload and choose File. Go to the location where you've saved your photos and select the photos you wish to upload. Note that you can upload multiple receipts at the same time. Then click on OK. It will ask you if you want to link all the receipts to the same expense item, and we don't want to do that, so we're going to click on No here. Then all the receipts will be displayed in the middle, and you can select the receipt that you wish to work with. We're going to create an expense item for this receipt that is for a meal. So click on the selected photo and link it to the expense item using the green button. Then you're going to select the category that that receipt falls into. In this case, it's a travel meal. Then select the date so that it matches the date on the receipt. You'll notice that it fills in that you have a receipt and who it was paid by. You can then enter the amount that you had tipped that is displayed on the receipt. And then enter the total amount on the receipt. The currency will default to Canadian, and you can enter your tax profile, which should also default. Then enter a quick memo for the receipt. Click on Save and Close. We're now going to create an expense item for a gas receipt. Click on Add Expense Item and select the photo you wish to use. Then click on the green button to link the receipt. Select the category for this receipt, in this case, an expense card receipt. Then select the date that's displayed on the receipt. You'll notice it default fills in the receipt and paid by items, and then you need to fill in the total displayed on the receipt. Select your tax profile and add a quick memo to the receipt. Then click on Save and Close. From the main screen, if you need to edit an expense report, for example, adding another expense item, just simply find the expense report you wish to edit, click on the Code button, and it'll take you to that expense report, and it will display all the expense items within that report. To add a new one, click on Add Expense Item, and select the receipt you wish to use. This time, we're selecting a hotel bill that also has room service charges. Link the receipt and choose the category Accommodations. Select the date displayed on the receipt, and then enter the total amount displayed on that receipt. Select the tax profile and add a quick memo to note what it is for. We are then going to split the item and click OK. And we're going to add a split item. This part we're going to do the hotel charges, so it stays as accommodations. Enter the amount plus taxes of just the hotel charges. And save and close. Then add another split item. Note that this time it's a meal because we're doing the room service charges. And enter the amount of a tip if there was one, and you'll notice it defaults the amount left over from the room charges. You can add a memo stating that this is the room service charge, and save and close. Then click Save and Close again. It'll take you back to the main page where you can see the split item has been created. It displays the hotel and the room service charges separately. If you have a smartphone and you wish to submit your expenses through an app, you can do that as well. If you own an Android, you can simply go to the Google Play Store. In the search, type in Nexonia. It'll be listed under Nexonia Expenses, and then you can click on Install. Note that you will need either data or Wi-Fi to do this. You can then open the app. You can allow it access to your files. This way you can upload pictures from your camera. You can then enter your email address and password to log into your account. Once you are logged into the app in your account, click on Reports. Here you can see all of your past reports, and to create a new report, click on the plus sign in the right-hand corner. Then you need to title your new report. Title it with your district and/or province, as well as the date that the pay period is ending. Then click on OK and save changes. Then, to add a new expense item, click on the bottom button Add Item. It will then allow you access to your camera in the top right corner. When you click on that, you will be able to take a picture of your receipt. Once you have a picture of your receipt, click on the check mark. You can then fill out the information required for your receipt, including the amount. The transaction date should match that on the receipt. You can then select the category for the receipt. Add a quick memo for your receipt. And then click on Save Changes. You can then see that that item has been added to your report. From here, you can either add more items if necessary, or in the bottom right corner, you can click on Submit to submit your expense report. You can also go back to the home screen in the top left corner. And if you, a couple days later, have another receipt that you need to add, you can just click on that same report and you can edit it. Once you have all of your information updated in the app, in order to ensure that it syncs to the online account, you need to sync the app to the internet. You can do this by clicking on the upper left-hand corner refresh button. In order to submit an expense report from the website, click on the report that you need to submit. Then, on the right-hand side, click on Submit, and then click on OK. This report has now been submitted. Since submitting our receipt, our manager has gone through and we can see that one of our reports has been rejected. You can see represented by that red arrow. If you can click on that report and scroll down, you'll see exactly which item was rejected. To see why, click on the red arrow and it'll open a new window and you'll see a memo from your manager stating why that item was rejected. You can then close, and under Actions, click on Edit. You can then edit what needed to be edited for that item. In this case, we needed to change the date. Then click on Save and Close. and then you can resubmit. That concludes our Nexonia training for today. Don't forget that if you have any additional questions, on the home screen of your account, you can access Nexonia training on the right-hand side, as well as talk to your manager or the person listed on this screen.